Okay. Hi. Um, Islam, Moorish American Nation family. And also, I'm gonna send this to Elon Musk as well, Mr. Elon Musk. Because if it wasn't for him, encouraging free speech, if it wasn't for him encouraging free speech, whatever his intentions were for doing it, I would not. He didn't always own Twitter, but he does own X now. It used to be Twitter. And if it wasn't for him encouraging free speech, there's no telling how far the extent of violence Imani and I would have experienced here in Annapolis, Maryland. Right now, I'm at Whole Foods. I just want to show you. I'm at Whole Foods. It's the same Whole Foods. I don't know, there's a sticker somewhere, but this is the same Whole Foods I go to all the time. So one of the things I was thinking about, it's approximately, I'm going to try to get all my thoughts together and make sure I say everything lawfully. Because I've been recently, now I started hearing predominantly blacks speak about suing someone, lawsuit years ago. Reminding you that I have been sending Sheikh Dwayne Bathfield Bay and my Moorish American Nation and family videos since I came to Annapolis. But as time went on, I started to hear black, Negro, African American, male and female accents, pale skin around the room. And then they start saying, we've been there all this time. We've been waiting on her. We waiting for them. Brother paid. They brother paid. Brother loves you. The military. So I'm just wanting to make sure I say that now, and remind you that I have not encouraged nor Imani that we wanted to be involved with anyone here in Annapolis, Maryland on a personal level. No African American, black, Negro, whether they this is an description, because I too was under that status. So I don't know if they claim a nationality or not. Not one pale skin. I don't know if they claim a nationality or not here in Annapolis. Not one person that speaks Spanish that's in the military, Navy, Army, the police, or just average citizens can ever say truthfully that we have encouraged or implied that we want to get to know anybody here in Annapolis, Maryland, personally. But as time went on, now reminding you, I've been sending Sheikh Dwayne Bathfield Bay you videos, emails since we've come to Annapolis in 2016. In 2016. So now imagine the mentality of a people who think that they have the right to use different sciences to invade someone's room, to stalk them, and do different forms of mind manipulation so that they can be a part of their world and eventually penetrate them in sex. Now, I really want you to really think of the mentality, that mind frame of a people to even have that thought. So I'm sending Sheikh Dwayne Bathfield Bay music, and there is a black Negro female accent keeps saying brother, brother, brother. Now, I'm out in the open walking. Average black Negro females and males looking around saying he F-U-C-K-U after I experienced the dreams, forced manipulation, which I never experienced before until I came here in Annapolis, or the military. Brother paid. You liked it. Now, I want you to really think about the state of mind of a people that would actually sit back and wait, stalk, And not only that, but use different sciences that should be for protecting the productive citizens on this landmass that are trying to reclaim their actual freedom, whether they're trying to free themselves mentally, constitutionally, physically, health wise. Health is important. Health is part of the preamble. To be healthy is a right. Everyone should want to be healthy on this landmass. So imagine the state of mind of a people that has the science to send four sharp pains to organs, cause someone to have some form of physical damage because they want to have sex and they are involved in other forms of thievery or possibly illegal organ selling or just what or sex trafficking. And they have been doing it for a long time. Because and then instead of now, I would think, I just want to say this. I would think if I was a criminal person and many people are involved that are in the government, that means you got black Negroes, male and female with suit and tie, been educated, they speak well, they know mathematics, and they know some form of civil law. And that's the same with the pale skin. They've been, and those that speak Spanish. They have been educated. And so instead of them being lawful, especially when newcomers come to the city, the first thing they're trying to think about is how to prey and become predators upon them. Because they've been doing criminal activity before the newcomers came. So I want you to really think about the state of mind of a people to actually think it is okay to sit around and use sciences to stalk and harm an individual that does not want to have nothing to do with them on a personal level. But just, you see, you come into Whole Foods, you might bump into somebody, oh, excuse me, have a gradual conversation with the cashier. You working? How you think? I'm fine. You know, but instead, you're among a group of people, not all, but too many, that has the science to invade, stalk the room, manipulate thoughts, manipulate dreams, and use other forms of sciences to cause harm, which, if allowed, can cause harm mentally, if allowed, physically, and spiritually. Think of the state of mind of a people who think it is okay. They have the right to do it. So it's like a program in them, as though I don't care what this person says, we have the right to put my penis in her vagina. I don't care. That black man, that man being there watching her, helping her, helping her and her son. She loved her son. That's a woman. That black woman loved her son. They've been helping them. She should be able to get on top of him and ride his penis and be the first to break his virginity. And she's been celibate for so long. Why would she want one of our black men? What's wrong with our brother? Now, I want you to think about the state of mind of a people. Now, I want to talk about Louisiana, okay? Because that state of mind would be identified as animal, uncivilized. Now, I'm going to go to Louisiana. I remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, and I want to also put the thought about kids and children, okay? I remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, many black activists were speaking about Hurricane Katrina. and how it took so long for the people to get help. They kept speaking about how predominantly the area where African American blacks, they call it the Ninth Ward, was flooded. And then there was other places that were flooded too. But I want to remind you something that was always said about the people before Hurricane Katrina happened. People were already speaking about the reputation of the area where they claimed a government blew the levees and actually purposely flooded the Ninth Ward. Now I remember hearing the reputation of the people there. I'm not saying it's true, but they were saying that people were behaving like animals. And I'm being honest, and this is the truth. Even afterwards, people, pale skins, were being ridiculed by saying that they were animals. I was offended. I was truly offended, really offended. I couldn't believe it. Then, I remember I watched the whole situation with Hurricane Katrina from the beginning to the end. Like many African, I was under status as African American Black Negro, according to constitutional law. Like many. I mean, tears rolling down, and just I couldn't believe it. What was happening? Not only that, they said the people actually were flooded in their homes. They didn't have a way out. Most of the people there, some of them didn't have cars. So when the levees broke or were blown up, they said blown. They were purposely blown. The water just kept rising, and people were actually drowned in their homes. And then when those got out of the homes and were able to, if they could swim, then they had to deal with the alligators. Louisiana and Florida are the two states that have a large amount of alligators. So they make it out, okay? They make it out, and they're walking in these really deep waters. And now they got to see those that survive be eaten by alligators. So then they finally make it to what they call the safe zone, the Superdome. And they see the United States finally there, the military. They go in during the day, it looks like they're helping them. But at night, documentation says that many has documented that they locked the domes up, the military, and people, women, children, men, were being raped and murdered. So instead of the survivors trying to cling on to whatever humanity or civilized thought of survival, where we just went through a horrific time where people have lost family members. I mean, this is not just that 1,000. They said thousands were murdered in reference to Hurricane Katrina that were missing. The people turned on one another. They had to defend themselves from those that were inside the Superdome or other places from rape, murder. So what kind of people would have the state of mind to become a predator during a horrific incident where people in a mental balanced state of mind would have said, we need to come together and wait for the government to do what they're here to do to protect us. We definitely don't need to turn on one another and start trying to rape, murder, molest, steal, whatever harm we can think of doing. But why would that even be the thought process of anyone who actually experienced Hurricane Katrina with the military right outside of the Superdome? So I want to go back to the state of mind of the people in Annapolis. What would cause black females to look at a woman who have never displayed that she want to have anything to do with them on a personal level and say he fuck you, he f you, he effed her, he effed her. This is Pons. She loved her son. What would give any black female, black male, the state of mind? What would make them think that it's rational to even imply or demonstrate such behavior? All the while, the woman, which is me, is documenting saying, I have never experienced my dreams being manipulated like this before. I dreamt that this black male attacked my genitals and was causing my vagina to have an orgasm. And I've never experienced that. I felt so embarrassed. I have never I never been in a place where I'm sleeping and I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. I worked all day. I worked all day. And I have to sleep light because if I don't sleep light, a black Negro male who might be in the United States military, the police, or an average citizen, a brother who might be educated or not, but feel they have the right because they a brother to use the science of mind manipulation and dream manipulation to invade. And then the females encouraging them. That's a man. That's our man. So getting back to Hurricane Katrina. Now, when I first started documenting about my dreams, well, first going back to Hurricane Katrina, when they showed the Superdome, they said the Superdome was the different places they showed it smelled horrible. People, that was like the last place to be. I think it was. I'm making sure it's the Superdome. They said it was a very inhumane place to be. Okay, so if it's inhumane because everybody had to poop and pee, when they urinated, they had no place to go, so they would urinate and poop where they could. Now that if you have to do that, you're in a survival mode. You have to do that. But what's really horrific in thought is that while they're trying to survive, and if they have a little bit of food or some water, because they might not have had hardly any water, they got think of clean water or a little bit of food. Then they have to worry about the males or even females trying to rape, and well, they were raping and doing horrific and murdering. While the United States military was outside of the dome. I need a few moments. I just wanted to make sure I have my thoughts. Because when you're dealing when you're in a environment where the United States military, Navy, Army, police are obviously able to use different sciences to force engage, and not only that, you have average citizens. Not only that, you have AI. So if there were robots here, so Imani and I, when we came to Annapolis, we had no idea such things as AI and robots existed. No idea. Nor did we know that they can steal money. They can be used to steal money, force mental engage, rape, send for sharp pains, cause illnesses. I had no idea that such things existed. But if they exist now, they existed during Hurricane Katrina. I had no idea that there were such experiments where of people. Now these are not natural experiments. These are lab freaks. These are definitely lab experiments that can control different machinery, engage and cause your body to shake. And I want to remind you, in Annapolis, too many times I would hear blacks, predominantly, not all, say, break her down. She needs to calm down. Calm down and be with a brother. We got to break her down. She got to come down. Now, what kind of state of mind is that? Pale skins in Annapolis saying 3 in Mason. Like animals. Literally like animals. So if someone is doing horrific harm in the open by using different forms of mentalism and sciences, it's only because they've been allowed to do it for so long. Way before Imani and I came to Annapolis, Maryland. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use this thought. I already said I was going to talk about the kids and the children. So, when you're dealing with mentalism and programs, and you know that you can make different, you can download different forms. So now they demonstrating how the government can download different forms of sciences. I guess you want to say what is it called? They was demonstrating how they can create a whole new child, call them extraordinary. So if imagine you have a group, just imagine you have a group or a city where a lot of the children are in this lab experiment. They have grown up this way all their life. Not only that, they have been used as sex objects all their life. Not only that, they have been taught that this is a culture. It's a culture for a child that they were created for such things. A kid. So if they've been programmed to think this is how life is for a kid to be able to have sex with a man or woman or child, man or woman, twice, 3 times their age. Say the child is 6 or 7 years old, but advanced. And this is, it's not just them, but all their friends have sex with men and women. Why would they think something's wrong with it? So remember the state of mind of the people, just to have African American males and females still to this day hearing accents in the room saying brother, she loves your son, or I love you, or close to the room. Spanish speaking. Definitely a Spanish accent. Definitely maybe from Mexico, South Central America. Now what, so I want to get back to the mentality and the state of mind of the people. And then I'm correlating this to Hurricane Katrina. Before Hurricane Katrina happened, I remember hearing how rough it was in certain parts. Every part that they said was flooded that I remember. I leave room for error. Is the parts where they said violence was very, very prevalent. They said violence was prevalent. Now, what kind of violence? If the sciences exist now where mentalism can be used to invade, it existed then too. Hurricane Katrina is only not even about around 12 years old. If if there's a science now that we know of where people can teleport predators and actually be in someone's room and molest and rape, or be in a child's room, molest and rape. It was going on 12, 13 years ago during the time when Hurricane Katrina happened. So they were saying, once again, I remember President Bush, or was it his wife? Because people were actually, when they were asking for help, they were like, people were saying that the government would help dogs before they help the people. And so, as an African American, under that status, I was under the status African American Black Negro. When I heard things like that, I was so upset, because they were saying that people were actually putting signs. I am here with a dog. People, dogs, need help, because they felt like the government might help the dogs before they help the people. And President Bush said that they were, or his wife, or they made a comment saying that one of the presidents said that, no, the president, I'm pretty sure it was President Bush's wife, said that that the Superdome was a better place for them to live than how they were living before. and they were talks about saying it was implied that the people were such an animal or violent before the hurricane happened. Because I couldn't believe, I was like, you telling me that they would um, help a dog before they help humans? They would help dogs. They would rescue a dog first before they rescue a human. I was so offended and so upset. It was heartbreaking if allowed. In Annapolis, I had to call the cops about 4 or 5 times. Once again, we don't know anyone here in Annapolis. And the thing about it is, because I walk everywhere and I'm trying to maintain balance, I would just videotape when I had to tell the police, Annapolis police, what I was experiencing. And they were telling me when someone tries this again or try to approach you, just keep walking. Don't say anything to them. So the last time I had an experience, I actually recorded. So I did what they said. The black male followed me, beeping his horn, asking, can he give me a ride? Like others have also, that I didn't record, saying, can I give you a ride? Also, pale-skinned females, can I give you a ride? Just so you can see, it's not just all, predominantly has been blacks, but the pale skin is definitely look well dressed. They've been educated, probably know mathematics very well, but also involved. Not all, but way too many. Now, why would someone who doesn't know you follow you and want to give you a ride? What is the word ride? Here in Annapolis, where the United States Navy, Army, and the police are prevalent, other military branches. So when I recorded the last time, otherwise I was just actually, the police, well, I was like, I know you have cameras to see what happened. But this time I actually took time, and instead of being upset, I took my tablet out and I asked the black male, why would you follow me after I kept going while you were beeping? I was jogging and I kept going. Why would you slow down and drive slowly next to me, roll down your window, and still keep insisting on asking me, can you give me a ride? And then when I started documenting about the odd behavior here, people start speaking about lawsuit. So a woman and her child or her son doesn't want to have nothing to do with you on a personal level. She is documenting that she does not want to have anything to do with anyone in Annapolis, her and Imani, on a personal level. It's naturalized Moors. I would not be offended. I'll be like, well, okay, who cares? What's the big deal? I mean, she's not trying to rob me. She's not trying to rape me. She's not trying to kill me. Why do I care? Then they so then they eventually through the years people just starts talking about suing someone. I'm gonna sue you and look my way, or say police and say your son, like they're gonna set Imani up. Now, a rational, civilized mind, if a newcomer comes to a city and is a productive citizen, doesn't have a criminal background, her or her son, and they're here, they're just productive citizens trying to work and whatever. Obviously, they don't want to amalgamate, but it's okay. When you are in a rational state of mind, when you are not trying to force breed, or sex traffic someone, that would not be a problem in a rational state of mind. When you're not trying to force breed or sex traffic. So if this is the attitude or the energy now, before we came here, it was going on. So getting back to the children, the kids in Annapolis. Not all, but I think those that have science that can possibly really do some really strong detective work, I bet they'll come across some incidents here. Just like I'm pretty sure before Hurricane Katrina happened, their children in Louisiana were suffering in certain parts that were flooded. I mean, it was already the reputation that it was a violent area. So violence does not always have to be physical. But when I was thinking violence, I was thinking when it comes to a physical point where you see violence happening on the physical plane, that is something that brewed up on a physical plane. It didn't start there. They could have been harming children, those that are predators, because I'm talking about predators. These are predators here that I'm speaking about in Annapolis. Not all, but definitely way too many, especially with the United States Navy, Army, military, and the police being here. These are predators. Abusive, violent predators, males and females. And before Hurricane Katrina happened, it was already known that many places that was flooded was known to be violent. That doesn't mean it was always on the physical plane. Just like the science for AI to be used to force engage other lab freaks to teleport into different parts of your room, your house, and you don't know, molest or harm your child first mentally through different sciences or whatever, your dreams. That it was happening then, and then eventually things blows up on the physical plane. So you might start to see more kidnapping, people reporting their children missing, runaways, physical rape. It can already happen on a different way. It doesn't always have to be on a physical plane. But what I'm saying, when it gets to a point where you have males that will actually grab a woman, or females grab a woman, hold her down, so one of the unclean, filthy males can penetrate her. That's the state of mind of a predator. They could be in a suit and tie, but if they could be not in a suit and tie, but if they in a animal state of mind, a beast, They don't see nothing wrong with holding a woman or her son down so they can be penetrated. Definitely not a child. Especially if they have other children saying, we did it, we went through it. It's our culture. This is our culture. We did it. Shh, just don't talk about it. Shh, shh. Don't talk about it. We all went through it. Imani and I, we don't know anyone here personally in Annapolis. I had decided I would never have nothing to do with an African American black on a personal level. That's in that state of mind, or pale skin, or Spanish speaking. But definitely in Annapolis, it is a no way, no how. There is no way in the world we would have anything to do with them on a personal level. And just the fact, I have been saying this for a long time. Just the fact that we still hear an accent of a black female and male sounding like an animal, deranged. I love your son. Like it's some type of mentally disturbed beast, brother Pay. So many times, average citizens, even when they come into Burger King, not all, but way too many, the black males walk in, they say brother. I've heard those that imply being connected to police say brother. Black males, black females, or they hand me money, say brother. Why would you think it is okay to use the term brother to a woman? It's like, why would you even, what would be your reason for doing such things? I'm at a fast food restaurant working, trying to earn money. I am not here to lie down and have sex with a black brother, a black male, a brother. Why would any customer feel the need that it's okay to do such things? What would be the reason? What is their comprehension of why this is necessary? See, I grew up. I'm not saying I definitely before my conscience changed. Oh my goodness, I can tell you I've experienced a lot that was not very nice things to say, but I must say, in everything I have done, everything, even my most wildest moments before my consciousness changed, when I came across a black man in the South, if I told the black man, I don't want to have nothing to do with you, the man, this is a man, walked away. And I'm kidding. So I never understood when I came to Annapolis and I saw how some of the black males were definitely behaving aggressive, and then hearing noises and the black females like they gonna force me to lie down with one of their males. I couldn't believe it. I have never experienced no such thing in my life, ever. I was really, I don't know, I don't want to say lucky, but it was just, I mean, I was, maybe because I was already, wait, I don't know. I'm not going to use that thought, but this is before my consciousness changed. before. I'm just being very honest. I was so surprised. I was like, what's wrong with them? What is wrong with some of these blacks here in Annapolis? And then I started to realize Morris were tweeting about lab experiments. Lab experiments. AI. Then Morris started to tweet about how Maryland was one of the states that were known to do different lab experiments during, they call it plantation times. They would breed different forms of a slave and send the slaves down wherever they needed production work done. Maryland was one of the states that really became rich off of breeding a form of a slave. So that makes a little sense.